legends, it's the EnglishSimmer here, and a few weeks ago now, I actually uploaded a video that was basically me transferring from Origin to the EA app, because EA claimed that sometime in the new year, we were going to have to make the switch between the Origin launcher to the EA app launcher, and people were talking about Origin stopping working in the new year. Unfortunately, we still have no confirmation on a date if when that's happening, which is very, very annoying. And I basically said that I would follow that video up with any issues that I've ran into, how it actually went for me whilst I was using the app, and that's what this video is for. First off the bat, I am gonna have a link down in the description. If you have installed the EA app and you've been running into issues, problems, anything like that, you still can download Origin. I re-downloaded Origin recently using that link. It was sent to me by an EA help member because I was running into issues that I will get into, but I basically didn't want to make you wait for the link. I personally am going to be using Origin until I cannot use Origin anymore. YouTube is going to be like, girly, why did you give up your retention rate straight away? It's just because I didn't want to make you wait for it. So go check out the link down below if you have been having issues. Make sure you only have one of them running on your PC. So to double check that, if you're using Windows 10, I don't have Windows 11, so unfortunately I can't go like fully through all of that. I have Origin working right now. If you need to quit either one of them, just hit the little logo down here in your tray and like quit Origin or quit the EA app if you want to then start using Origin after you've re-downloaded it. Both of them use the exact same login as each other, so you don't need to set up like separate accounts or anything like that. However, because I know that I'm going to be using Origin as my main launcher until I can't use it anymore, I actually went into Origin and then application settings, and then I scrolled down to startup options and I turned on automatically start Origin. That basically like halts the EA app from starting and uses Origin as my default. And also all of your Sims files are still saved to the same place, so this isn't gonna have an effect on any of your like saves or mods that you use for The Sims, because they're actually just part of the electronic arts folder, and then you click into The Sims 4, you have mods, saves, tray files, all of that. The location of these don't change whether you're using the EA app or Origin. So as we all know from my last video that I uploaded, which I'll probably like link it up here, it was basically just me doing the switch over between Origin to the EA app, and it all went swimmingly. I know a couple of people had different experiences. For some people it didn't carry over their Sims 3 store content, which I know is so annoying, especially when you've paid money for it. Other people couldn't see their games. I didn't have any issues like that, which is why my last video I was like, okay, you know what? The switch has worked for me, but I am going to continue to use this product, and then I want to follow it up. And I will also say, whilst I was using the EA app, my game updates seemed absolutely fine. I know a couple of people were telling me like, oh, my updates are taking a really long time on the EA app, like they never really took that long whilst I was using Origin. I don't know if that was because I actually had my download rate set to unlimited, so you have 20 megabytes per second, 10, 5, 1, or 512 kilobytes. So I was like, okay, maybe that's having an effect on like how quick my downloads are. Obviously, I think we only got one patch update in between me switching to the EA app at the end of like 2022. It could have just been the luck of the draw that the one specific update that we had actually didn't take long, and I was like, no, you know what, this is going pretty well for me. Like it's basically the same as it was on Origin. However, if you are in the same shoes that I was in, that actually wasn't the case, and my downloads got absolutely halted the other day when the new kits came out. So basically when the Bathroom Clutter kit and the Scintimates kits actually dropped, they were meant to drop at 6 p.m. UK time. For around the first 5 minutes, I was like, no, you know what, like the EA app, it's just taken a little while for them to load on the storefront, like this is absolutely fine. Then I actually received a code from the EA Creator Network, so I was like, okay, cool, I'll use that code in my EA app, I'll redeem it the way that I always do. It said that the product had been purchased, and then it was like, would you like to download? So I hit download, nothing started downloading. So I was like, okay, cool. They're still not on the storefront yet, so maybe this is just like a little glitch in the system. I'm probably gonna have to wait for them to be on the storefront so that they're actually accessible within the EA app, basically for the program to like catch up with itself. So I was waiting and waiting along with a load of other players. I was in the luckier position because I already kind of had access to them, they just wouldn't install. Whereas for most players who aren't part of the creator network, they couldn't even see them to like buy them. And that lasted for a solid 40 minutes. So it was around 6:40 that they showed up on the storefront, which meant that people could finally purchase them and I could hopefully download them. What I did is I went to my collection, I went to the little ellipsis next to The Sims 4 where these options come up. I went on manage add-ons and finally they did load up. So The Sims 4 bathroom clutter kit, it says installed. That one downloaded absolutely fine. It was showing up in my game. It was all good. The Sims 4 Sentiments collection literally did not show up in my game. It's still saying that it's installed. However, whenever I launch The Sims 4 actually through the EA app, it's just not there. Logical conclusion, I was like, hey, it's not working in my game. Like, I guess I'll just like hit repair game, which is what I usually do whenever I'm having any issues with The Sims 4. You can go to that ellipsis once again, you can click to repair your game, and it basically like goes through all the files on your computer for The Sims 4 and fixes them all up. Make sure that everything is in working order, it's all playing the way that it should be working. Usually when I hit that option on Origin, it does probably take about half an hour maybe for the game to repair itself because I don't have the best internet in the world. I know, it's my career, but I live in the UK, so you can't blame me. However, I tried to repair the game through the EA app and it took 2 hours. I have literally never had to wait that long for a game to repair. I was like, what the heck is going on? Obviously, I already had my download speeds set to unlimited. However, it was getting halted at like 4.5 megabytes per second. My download speed was a lot faster on like a speed test I did, so the app was just like stalling it and I have no idea why. And like I said, even after I had repaired that game and waited quite literally the like 3.5 hours for these kits to finally install so that I could record a video on it, it still wasn't showing up in my game. And apparently Origin wasn't having a lot of those issues. It did take a little bit for the kits to load up on the Origin storefront, but it was a lot faster than the EA app. So I was like, right, that's it. I'm gonna see if I can re-download Origin, and everything is there. The kits download perfectly, super fast, the speeds that I am used to, and boom, I have access to them, which is why I personally have gone back to Origin for the time being, whilst it's still working. I will also say The Sims 4 takes a little bit longer to launch through the EA app than it ever did in Origin. I did see a lot of your comments on the last video, so the EA app does go down a lot. Unfortunately, right after I uploaded that video, I think I uploaded it 30th of December 2022, all throughout like New Year and the 1st of December, EA servers were actually down, which meant that no one could log in to the EA app. I was away at the time, so I wasn't really like seeing any of those issues because I wasn't trying to log in, but it also meant that people couldn't see like any of their games in their library. So I was getting loads of comments like, I can't even log in at the minute, like I've just downloaded the EA app, and that was basically because of the servers. And just to prove how much this goes down, so this was on January the 1st, something's up with our online services, but we're on it. In the meantime, you might not be able to connect to online modes, buy games, or log into your account. We'll get you back in your game as soon as we can. Then on the 6th of January, they said, having trouble with the EA app, find help on the EA app forums. On the 11th of January, having trouble loading games in your collection on the EA app, our team is looking into it. We'll share updates on this thread as soon as we know more. The 13th, having trouble with our EA app, we're working on a fix and we'll get here as soon as we know more. And then the Sims direct communication on the 19th of January actually said, hey Simmers, regarding today's kits release, we're currently experiencing some delays, errors when it comes to purchasing and accessing the two kits across platforms. Literally in the first 20 days of January, we've had 5 different issues with the EA app. From people not being able to log in, to games not launching or disallowing offline mode within the app, or not being able to see your games library. And that's one thing I've always said about EA as well, is that they're kind of spread out too all over the place when it comes to being on the internet. I would say if you are having any issues, the first place that's probably the best place to go look for things is the EA Help Twitter account. However, when you are a player and you're trying to load it through like a certain launcher, I think the launcher should just tell you that information. Like, I think there should just be a pop-up on the EA app that's like, hey, sorry if you're facing like these issues. It's an online server thing on our end. We're trying to get it fixed as soon as possible, because not everyone has a Twitter account. Not everyone has like access to the internet at the minute. And I think it should all be done kind of within the app. I've also heard that Origin actually, for some people, doesn't allow the Sims to run anymore, or like I said, is forcing you into the legacy version. So unfortunately, if that is the case, then you probably are gonna have to use the EA app. I just wanted to point that out because obviously me re-downloading Origin did work. However, that's not gonna be the case for everyone. It might not fix it for you personally, and I'm really, really sorry about that. I mean, I hate that they've released the EA app and are actually like forcing it on people without any other backup when it's still not even working the way that it should be. I don't think this should have been released from beta. Like, it's very clearly not working the way that they expected it to. It's definitely not working for players, and it's so aggravating when there's so little information about how to actually fix things, when things are gonna stop working, when things are gonna start working. I think we just need, as players, more clarity on everything. Like, when will Origin actually stop working? Because yeah, there's been like chats about it, hence why I made the original video that I did. And then I feel bad for making my previous video because I was like, okay, well, it's working well for me now. And now obviously I'm making this video where it's like, oh, I'm really sorry about that, but I've gone back to Origin because it was like literally my only choice. And that's not even a choice for everyone. I've also heard people having issues with the EA app, like logging them out every single time, even though they've chosen to like remember me, which again is just a frustration as a player. And also offline mode is very hit or miss. I also don't think that you can go into offline mode on the EA app without going online first, which if you are wanting to play in offline mode, there's clearly a reason you're wanting to play in offline mode. That should be available like on the home screen without needing an online connection to log in originally. The link to re-download Origin will be down below. However, I personally didn't like get pushed into the EA app. I didn't get like the pop-up on Origin, which is like, hey, download our new EA app. So my Origin is currently working okay. I again don't know if that's going to be the case for everyone. There isn't like any clarity about that. However, I would love to know if you actually initially got that pop-up that you couldn't exit out of on Origin. If you have re-downloaded it, how is it working for you? Are you still getting that pop-up, or is your computer just like, no, you know what? You downloaded the EA app, that's fine, but you can now still access your Origin? I would really love to hear that experience, because again, that just kind of helps me with like knowledge to like pass on to people in the comments and stuff. And just to reiterate, if you do download both of them, you can't have them both open at the same time. So once you actually close the EA app, it says it's been minimized. It will be in your tray. Just exit out of the EA app and then you'll be able to load Origin back up. I hope this video was clear. I hope it was easy to understand. However, I do feel like I was a little bit rambly because I feel like there's just so much to talk about and also so much unknown when it comes to both of these launches. But if you do have any issues with anything, please do not hesitate to try and ask me down below in the comments. If I don't know the answer, hopefully someone else has an experience where they can try to help you out. But yeah, this is basically us as players, like testing things out, see what works for us, see what doesn't work for us. That's basically what I'm trying to do because there's not that much information out there at the minute. So I do apologize for uploading that video. However, I also didn't want to take it down because I've had some comments of people being like, the EA app works so much better than Origin for me. And it literally just seems like luck of the draw as to what's gonna work and what's not gonna work, which just shouldn't be the case. And I guess I will speak to you all, hopefully not in the next one. Please, can we just pull it together? I need it, EA.